Hey everybody, welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across the UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today I am delighted to be joined by the amazing Alex George. Hi Alex.
Hi, Sarah.
So I've asked Alex to be on the show today because he is twofold, amazing, talented, and one of the coolest entrepreneurs you'll ever meet. Not only is he managing director of Al Ostad Pallet Factory, he's also an aspiring musician who is an amazing guitarist and pianist. Whoa, blows my mind. Please tell me your story, Alex, and what got you started in both sectors.
So I went to the States. I finished my studying and all that. I grew up in Kuwait actually, and then my parents moved to Dubai about 20 years ago. So after I finished studying, did my undergrad, I moved back here, and then I never worked outside. My family was in business, so I joined the family business straight up after my degree. So I did 20 years of that, and then COVID hit, and that's when I realized I think life's too short to just keep, working, follow a bit of. I used to dabble in a bit of music, but I never had the time. So when COVID hit, I thought it's time to actually really pursue something a bit more holistic, and then I started really going for. I was playing the guitar. I started picking it up off YouTube, and I practiced quite a bit. So after probably 2 years of doing that, I started doing the piano as well. But during COVID, I started writing music, and it
Wow.
was a pretty morbid time. So I was writing a lot of very dark lyrics, but somehow that was appealing to a lot of producers. So through another friend, I got in touch with a pretty well-known individual who's an engineer slash producer, and we started working together. So we've actually got an album coming out probably in July. I'm doing the songwriting, he's doing the producing.
That's so cool.
So we're still yeah, so we're still working on it. I have a studio at home, which helps a lot. So I either practice in the morning, or I do it in the evening. So besides the storm of running corporate as well, of mid-sized business, yeah.
See,
So
you used a great
we
word
hope.
there, the storm of running corporates. Tell me more about that.
Oh, that's so. I'm 47 now. I got into this when I was in 2000. So like 25 years ago. So I was 21, 22. Came into it was a very like family-run business. Very what do you call it? Like most like you probably heard most family-run businesses are not very structured. They end up having a lot of immediate family within it. So I came into that. It was a bit disorganized, but I went through it for about 20 years. Now I head the company. I've been running it for about 5 years now. We just moved into a new factory in Dubai Industrial City, so very close to Al Maktoum Airport. I can see the airport from my window right now. So I've been really busy for the last 2 months. We've been shifting the factory from Jablali here, so that was taking up a bit of time. And now we're here. We're quite excited. New place, new facility, new office, new paintings. Yeah, I'm still writing. So we need to complete the album by I think July is when we have to finish it. So my partner is at the Grammys this year as we speak. He's just flew 2 days ago to the
Wow.
States. Yeah, he's attending the award show there. Hopefully, he'll be able to get me a couple more good vocalists as well. So
Always
we
a good
should be
idea.
we should be done, we should be done by July, hopefully.
So, what kind of challenges have
Yes.
come with this balance and obviously kind of opening new offices, new spaces for your company, but at the same time, releasing a whole album and focusing on your art as well?
I think time and the headspace because they're two totally different places to be in. So when you write, you need to be. It's a very insulated process. So whereas when you lead a company, it's an extremely crowded space. You're constantly, dealing with a lot of people. You on a daily basis, a lot of challenges that you need to keep solving. I like to call it like firefighting all the time. So those kind of things happen on one side, but for me, the other part of the music side really acts as a way of decompression. So I love that the solitude that it brings.
That's
You don't
beautiful.
need I don't need a sparring partner or anybody. I can just I can sit with a guitar, I can sit with a piano, pen, and just start writing and composing something. And time also, like it's a great hobby because time flies. I can sit 3 hours, 4 hours at a time. So one of the biggest constraints is to actually tell yourself it's time to get up because it's very easy to just get sucked into that whole process. Yeah,
Wow. So, in terms of the
yeah.
kind of colorful experiences that you've gone through, what would you say is a moment or a milestone or kind of a specific phase that really stood out for you or was most interesting to you?
It's been 7, 8 years now. There's been so many things that have like. See, when you start off, nobody takes you seriously. They thought it was, it's like a uh, it's very difficult to get out of that business space and then try and identify the people as a musician. So I think there were a lot of skeptics and cynics and all that in the initial phase. But slowly now, after I've been playing with so many people now, I've been accepted. I'm part of that community now. So in terms of challenges, you'll always find. Uh, I think the greatest challenge is always trying to validate what you do because it's such a creative thing. Some people will like it, some people will hate it. So I think to get to a space where you're confident of what you do is probably the biggest challenge because if you wait for if you wait for everybody or for the noise to stop, it never does because you'll always find you find like people who really like what you do, some people who would probably hate it as well. I mean, so I think that's the challenge.
And I
Otherwise,
love the fact that
that's
you don't seek validation from others. The fact that you know within yourself that you are good at your craft and you enjoy it and you have the passion for it. I think that's the most important thing as well.
Yeah, I think also because I'm not financially dependent on it, maybe because like a musician I'm not making a living off being a musician. I think that comes from my day job. So I just even if I do something that really you know that doesn't have mass appeal, I just like it. It just goes into my little repository.
I
I
love
read
that.
this interesting article. Sting did the same thing when he wrote "Kiss from a Rose." He thought it was the stupidest song, and then they actually kept it aside for many years
No way.
because it was only when Batman came out that song really got legs. But it was a real B-side track. They thought it was silly, and a lot of people. So you never know what's going to fly. So it's just a matter of time.
I love
Yeah.
that. And what kind of music do you or what kind of themes do you inspire you in your music? What kind of things do you love to write about?
So me and Deepak, my partner, we initially started off with causes. So the first one that I did was something about social issues, and that's still being produced. We haven't finished it. I just completed a track with Refugee called Refugee, and it's sung by Steve Knight, who was the vocalist for Flipside. It's an old band. 15 years ago, they were quite popular. Now he's out on his own, and I work with him as an executive producer. So I'm on Spotify as a producer for two, three of his tracks now. So I
Wow.
do that. Yeah. So I kind of it's my little hobby kind of thing.
And what's your favorite thing about it?
It's it's there's a sense of what do you call it? There's a sense of like fulfillment that comes with whenever you do something creative, and you'll find that a lot of people who dabble in any kind of art will say it. So even if you're painting something, you're working on a movie, or I just produced a film, a small 30-minute film, and it's running the film festival circuit. So we did the music here as well. I just plucked artists from Dubai, and we kind of created the entire the score and the songs and all that. So there's something very fulfilling when you're in that space and you go through it. That whole it like what people talk about mindfulness and body mind sync and all that. So I think this kind of it's a vocation that kind of incorporates a lot of that because your mind your like when you play an instrument, for example. And I like to play in the morning because it's such a it gives you a lot of clarity. your mind and your body are like, you're playing and you're constantly focusing on what you're playing. So I think it has its holistic benefits.
I love that. I love that. And I have one last question for you today, Alex, if I may. I'm curious, what word of advice would you have for listeners who might be keen to pursue these kinds of passions but might be too scared to take the first step?
Well, I think just try because there's going to be a lot of I wouldn't say resistance, but a lot of people who'd probably be amused by things like that. They'll think it's a phase, but I think once you find your groove, you'll really blossom slowly. I think just give it time because these are, especially when it comes to arts and crafts, I think you need to give it time. These are skills, and you need to really. Uh, I've been playing for like I think 2 hours for the past every day for the past 7 years, 8 years, and it I can see that the growth has been quite organic. It's not like I just picked up a guitar one day and started hitting out a lot of tunes. So it takes a while to it takes a while to be patient. You'll keep if you're consistent, you'll get there. I think.
Well, thank
I
you
thought
so
I'd have a
much for
drink
your
with
time,
you.
Alex. I really appreciate it.
Music.
No, no, I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sarah. It was nice to talk to you.
Of course. Thank you so much for sharing your story, and we'll see you soon and hopefully hear about your album very soon as well.
Yes, yes. We'll talk then.
Take care. Thank you.